Are you ready for the uncertain times ahead this winter? You know that feeling when you're cozily tucked in at home while a storm howls outside? That's peace of mind. And there's nothing quite like the assurance that comes with being prepared. So, let's chat about making sure you're as snug as a bug no matter what Mother Nature or life throws your way. Next month could be full of surprises, and it's not just about bracing for a storm but also staying ahead of the game. Now, I've been around the block a few times when it comes to prepping, and I've got a keen eye for the essentials. We're not just talking about filling a pantry with cans, it's about being smart with what you choose to stockpile. Let me walk you through the 8 prepping items that are absolute must-haves. These items are the real deal for any situation that might come knocking on your door. From the basics that sustain you to the tools that empower you, each item on this list is there to ensure that come what may, you'll be ready to tackle it head-on with confidence. Here are the 8 prepping items you should stockpile before next month. Number 1. Non-perishable food. When the pantry is your lifeline, variety and nutrition are key. Canned goods, dehydrated meals, and dried staples like rice and beans can sustain you for long periods. Rotate your stock to keep it fresh, and consider the balance of carbs, protein, and fats. A manual can opener, cooking supplies, and a means to heat your food without electricity should also be included in your preparations. Number 2. Water purification systems. You know, water is the essence of life itself. When those taps run dry or the local water sources turn into a cesspool of contamination, your water reserves will only last you so long. That's where a rock-solid water purification system comes to the rescue. Picture this. You've got your stockpile of purification tablets, and they're like gold when you can't trust the water coming out of your tap. Just drop one in, and boom, you've got clean water ready to drink. But that's not all. Personal filtration devices are another ace up your sleeve. They're portable, and you can take them with you on the go. And if you're hunkering down for the long haul, those larger gravity-fed filters are a godsend. They can clean up large quantities of water, perfect for cooking, drinking, and staying squeaky clean. And here's the kicker. A human can survive for weeks without food, but only days without water. So having a reliable water purification system is like having a lifeline to keep you going when the going gets tough. Number 3. Communication devices. In this age of smartphones glued to our hands, it's easy to forget that these gadgets are only as good as the towers beaming signals to them. What happens when those towers fall silent? Well, my friend, it's radio time. Good old-fashioned battery-powered radios or even those hand-cranked types come into their own when the grid goes down. They're not just for catching up on the latest news or weather alerts. They're your lifeline to the outside world. Imagine not knowing what's happening around you during a crisis. That's a scary thought. But it's not just about staying informed, it's about staying connected. A trusty walkie-talkie set with a decent range can be your lifeline when you need to reach out to your neighbors or family across town when the usual means of communication fail. I'm talking about having a backup plan in place to ensure you're not isolated when disaster strikes. So don't underestimate the power of these communication devices. They might just save the day when you least expect it. Number 4. Power sources. Now we've touched on the unreliability of the grid, but let's talk solutions. Portable power banks can keep your small devices alive, but for the bigger stuff, you're going to want a generator or solar chargers. A good, reliable generator can make the difference between reading by candlelight and keeping the freezer running. Solar chargers, on the other hand, are silent sentinels that harness the sun's rays, giving you a bit of juice for your devices or even your batteries. Don't forget to stock up on various batteries too, because when the lights go out, it's the little AAs and AA's that will keep the flashlights and radios going. Number 5. Warmth and shelter. This is an absolute must in any prepper's playbook. I mean, you could be facing a blizzard, or maybe it's the aftermath of a summer storm that's turned unexpectedly chilly. It doesn't matter because staying warm is a non-negotiable. Now, some folks are lucky enough to have a wood-burning fireplace. But let's face it, not everyone's got that luxury. So what do? You rely on your stockpile of survival gear. Blankets, man. Lots of them. I'm talking about cozy, thick ones that can keep the cold at bay. And don't forget sleeping bags with a low temperature rating. You want to feel snug as a bug even when it's freezing outside. But wait, there's more. You might want to throw in a space heater into the mix. When the power goes out and the temperature drops, that little device can be a lifesaver. Insulating your home is crucial, but sometimes Mother Nature throws curveballs, and those extra layers can mean the difference between a slightly chilly night and a potentially dangerous drop in body temperature. And let's not forget about the possibility of having to bug out. You know, leaving your home in a hurry. That's where a sturdy tent comes into play. Think of it as your temporary haven from the elements. When you're out in the wild, battling the cold or rain, a good tent can make all the difference in the world. So make sure you've got one ready to go in your prepping stash. Number 6. First aid supplies. You can't underestimate their importance in the prepper's arsenal. Injuries don't care about your schedule. They can happen anytime, anywhere. So you better have a comprehensive first aid kit ready to roll. I'm talking about a kit that's stocked with all the essentials: bandages, antiseptics, and don't forget prescription medications if you or your family members rely on them. Over-the-counter meds for pain and fever? You betcha. And hey, don't overlook the little things like tweezers for those pesky splinters, scissors for cutting cloth or even clothing in an emergency, and a good old manual for handling medical emergencies. Now here's the thing. Having all these supplies is great, but knowing how to use them effectively is just as crucial. So, get yourself some basic first aid training. It's like having an extra layer of security in your prepping toolkit. When disaster strikes, you'll be ready to handle injuries like a pro, and that could make all the difference in the world for you and your loved ones. Number 7. Fire starting tools. In the realm of survival and preparedness, fire starting tools are indispensable. The art of igniting a flame harkens back to primal times, and when you're cut off from the comforts of today's world, this skill reigns supreme. You might find matches that refuse to strike due to moisture or lighters that give up the ghost just when you need them most. That's where the trusty fire steel or magnesium striker steps in. Unfazed by wind or rain, they're your steadfast allies. You'll want to squirrel away a stash of waterproof matches, dependable lighters, and perhaps some tinder. Think of it as dry lint, or even specialized commercial fire starters. The capacity to spark up a fire is more than a convenience. It's a lifeline. It could mean the difference between a hot meal, safe drinking water, and the comfort of warmth. Number 8. Sanitation supplies. It's a topic that might make some squirm, but when the usual public services grind to a halt, managing waste becomes a matter of health and survival. A breakdown in sanitation is a one-way ticket to Disease City. So what's to be done? You armor up your stockpile with heavy-duty garbage bags, crafty portable toilet solutions, and an arsenal of personal hygiene products. Yes, we're talking about the humble but mighty toilet paper, wet wipes, and hand sanitizer. And let's not overlook the power of biodegradable soap and disinfectants. These aren't just for keeping hands and faces clean. They're for ensuring everything can be kept sanitary, even when water is as precious as gold. That's a wrap on our essential prepping guide, and I hope you found it insightful. Remember, the key to peace of mind is preparation, and with these must-have items, you're well on your way to being snug as a bug come what may. If you've enjoyed this video and haven't already, please consider subscribing to our channel. It's a great way to stay updated on all our latest content and be part of our growing community. Don't forget to hit the like button if you found this video helpful, and drop us a comment with your thoughts or any items you think should be added to the list. Thank you for watching, and remember, stay ready so you don't have to get ready.